We sippin' slow, post some more. Yeah, we just sippin' slow. Lean, crush.
Hey y'all, thank you for sipping it slow. Today I want to talk about codependency so you can know it if you see it. Also, if you are doing it, you can find out why you're doing it. And you can be more self-aware of yourself when you're doing it, okay? So, if you don't know what codependency is, I will let you know today, okay? Because some of you are not aware of this, all right? So, people love to call it being a good friend, a ride or die, the most supportive one in the room. But be clear on this: codependency is not selflessness, it's not generosity, it's not unconditional love. Codependency is a survival strategy, one that often disguises itself as care but is rooted in fear. It looks like devotion on the outside, but underneath is a deep hunger for significance, dressed up as support. See, the codependent person isn't just doing all that hyping, encouraging, and praising you. They are doing it for them. They're not just doing it for you, because being the cheerleader makes them look valuable. It puts them in a position of being needed, liked, and even more importantly, seen. A lot of these people want to be seen, especially when there's someone new around, someone they haven't impressed yet. You ever notice that? The moment a new person enters the room, the codependent starts performing, amplifying your wins, dressing up your mediocrity, using your spotlight to warm themselves in the glow. It's not malicious, or is it? Hmm. It might be unconscious, but some people are so good at it and they know what reward they get. So, they do it and they do know that they're getting something out of it. So, is it malicious or isn't it? Okay? But this is real. And that's the trick about codependency. It mimics selflessness. But at its core, it's about controlling. Okay? Not control over you, but control over how they're perceived. They pour into people not just out of love, but to secure their own place in the room. It's not just about helping others succeed, it's about using others' success to prove they belong. That's why they become servers, do boys, do girls, peons, and groupies. Not out of loyalty, but out of strategy. They'll carry the bags, run the errands, hype your smallest moves, and tell you you're iconic when you haven't even done anything legendary. Why? Gotta ask yourself why. It's because they're building their own value through you. It's self promotion through the act of servitude. The one that always is so helpful, that never say no, that when you fall, they always helping you despite nothing. They always there. They don't never let you sit in your shit like you need to do this unless you call on them so often that they get tired because the act goes away. Okay? Once you be around them too much, they get tired because you not new no more. Okay? Where it starts. This is where it starts. It starts from childhood conditioning. This need did not come out of nowhere. It was taught, crafted in childhood, in homes where love was conditional, where praise came only after performances, grand performances, where being good meant making other people comfortable, where emotional needs were met only when the parent was in the right mood or when the child did something super impressive because they wasn't good enough. Everything they did wasn't good enough. So once they got that one hit, oh, he did. Look at him. He did this. Or look at her. She did this. It gave them a dopamine hit so hard that they wanted it. It was validating and it was the best feeling of their life. And the child internalizes the message. If I want to be loved, I need to be useful. If I want attention, I better earn it. And that belief, It doesn't just disappear when they grow up. So what happens? That child becomes an adult who keeps trying to earn love by being indispensable. They keep trying to earn belonging by being the one who's always giving. They turn themselves into the eternal helper, the peacekeeper, the emotional support system for everyone around them. And sometimes one of their parents is usually like this. Okay? And they pick up that habit from them because somewhere deep inside they believe their worth depends on it. They were trained to prioritize everyone else's feelings over their own. They were taught that put themselves first was selfish. So now they don't even know how to check in with themselves. Their compass is external only. They're constantly reading the room, monitoring people's moods, anticipating needs, adjusting their own energy to make sure no one else is upset. Okay? And they be in relationships and they listening to and paying attention to everybody else but what's going on in their own house. They don't even know how to stay in the present of their moment because other energy comes in the room and they feel like they gotta fulfill them and impress and get into servant mode. Okay? Um, but in doing so, they're abandoning themselves every single time. And the saddest part, most people applaud this behavior. Okay? Society rewards codependence. We call them loyal. We call them loving. But the truth is, they're often slowly dissolving in the background, molding themselves into whatever shapes makes others comfortable and losing their true selves in the process. So they can't never be real because everybody that comes in a room, they adjusting to them. So they don't even know who they are really because anybody come in a room, they different. Okay? They want to be in that genre of filth or a genre of happiness or a genre in religion or whatever the room is reading. They know how to chameleon theyself, chameleonize and blend in. They're blenders. They don't know how to speak up for themselves. They stay quiet and everybody is acceptable. And no matter how bad it is, no matter how good it is, they don't have no objection to right or wrong. Okay? All right. So it's not love, it's strategy. Okay? They start strategizing. Once they get their hit, they keep trying to get a hit. Make no mistake, codependency is not an act of love. It's an act of survival. It's someone trying to manage their own fears by becoming emotionally indispensable to others. The over the top support, the excessive praise, the need to be everyone's favorites. It's not always genuine in admiration. Often it's calculated way to stay relevant, to avoid being forgotten, to protect against terror of being invisible. That's also why codependent people are so quick to jump into new relationships. Okay? Not because they've healed, not because they're ready, but because the chance to impress someone new is right up their alley. New people are blank slates, don't know nothing about them. New people don't know the act yet. And being adored by a fresh set of eyes gives them a rush. They get so happy and excited that this person thinks the most of them. You know, they get so happy. Okay. They get a rush of temporary self-worth. It's satisfying for a while until that new person starts to see through the support, until they realize that the codependent isn't really loyal to them. They're loyal to being needed. Okay? It's deep, y'all. It's deep. That's why, and that's what they're addicted to. Not the person, not the bond, just the feeling of being indispensable. And when the mask starts to slip, When that unwavering support starts to feel rehearsed, because it's a rehearsal, they'll text the same thing to everybody. They'll, as soon as the person comes in the room, they have the same introduction or happiness to everybody that comes in the room. Nobody is get the most of them at all. Like nobody. The loyalty is not to one person. The loyalty is in the being indispensable and being seen. That's when the truth becomes clear. The codependent was never really showing up for you in the new relationship. They were performing for their own reflection. They were building their own relevance through your needs. You thought you found the most supportive man or woman in the world when really you found someone who's been living for themselves all along. Okay? And you feel like they were selfish, okay? And the only way to break this cycle is to break this pattern. That person has to go back to the root of the cause. They got to face the childhood belief that told them you are only as valuable as what you do for others. They need to unlearn the idea that love is something you own or you earn by over functioning, by always being on by never having a need for your own. Okay? So let me read that again because I be writing fast and I don't be writing right. They need to unlearn the idea that love is something you earn by over functioning. Okay? By always being on, by never having a need of your own. Okay? Real love, real worth doesn't require a performance, codependent. It requires presence. Where you at? True healing begins when you stop looking for a mirror in everyone else, what they think about you. What do you think about yourself that you don't have an identity? Your identity is based on what they say, okay? Not what you know and who you are because they don't really know you. All right? You know everything about them because you've been rooting them on so much and you are in their shadow so much that nobody really knows nothing about you. So how can you care about their praise when you know that they don't know you for real? Okay? They don't know nothing about nothing unless you act like you liked it around them. Then they like, oh, he liked that because he was with me and he was kicking it with me and he liked that. But no, I'm talking about your deep stuff. The stuff that you know about them. You know? So when they stop needing others to reflect back their worth, when they finally learn to sit with themselves and say, even if nobody claps, even if nobody calls me the best, even if nobody sees me, I still matter. You gotta still matter to yourself. You can't care about what nobody think about you. And you are gonna now know what a codependent person is. Anytime somebody acts different when somebody new is in the room, anybody who starts to serve and tries to be a do boy or a do girl for everybody that's in the room that they don't know. Not to say that they still won't do it for the people they do know, but when it's a new person in the room, they really get in 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 go mode. Like they have to let them know, I'm this person and everybody say stuff good about me. And they want people to say so they can let that person defense go down. They want everybody to believe that they this person. Okay? So y'all just watch out for these codependent people. And if you codependent, gotta find a root from it. Okay? You gotta find out why you like this and why do you value new over people that know you for sure and know your real you and accept and love it. You know, when you want to embrace the people that know you and love you and they still think good about you. If everybody that you meet and they start knowing you say stuff bad about you once you're gone, then you ain't that good of a person. All right? It's maintaining that legacy when somebody is living with you, has lived with you, and has seen who you really are. You know, not what you performing on the surface for 60 to an hour of a minute, you know, or not because you party or kicked it with somebody over the weekend. I'm talking about constantly around you and know you for real. And they still think highly of you. Okay? And I'm not talking about the garbage pickers that's garbage as what you may be. That value because you're a little better than them. I'm talking about the people that's taking care of business, that's high value, and they've been around you and they still want to be around you because you're a good person. But sometimes codependent know how to act like good people too, around good people. And the good people don't know that bad side. All right? So just find out who you are and mean it. Stick to it. Can't switch or change when nobody come around. You gotta be you constantly. No matter if you've been in the corner, no matter if you by yourself, always be yourself. And stop showing up and being there for everybody else but yourself and your own family. All right? Well, I love you all. I appreciate y'all. Please put on your post notifications and watch all my longer videos. I appreciate it because this station is growing fast and I'm headed to the top, y'all. I love you. I appreciate you. Make sure you're sipping it slow. All right.
TME. Smoking on purple like Barney. I don't like the answer, we about to argue. I don't mind pushing ignore.